Do you think he's really serious about investing in this glamping business?
Well, I certainly hope so.
Virgin River has grown quite a following over its first 4 seasons. It revolves around Mel, an LA nurse who loses her baby to stillbirth and her husband in a car accident. She moves to a small town called Virgin River to start fresh. Season 4 had no shortage of the show's signature complicated moments, with the finale ending on a cliffhanger. Let's have a look at some of the unanswered questions for Season 5. Starting off, will Preacher end up with Paige or Julia? The previous seasons were quite successful for Preacher. As he's a resident good guy, it doesn't come as a surprise that he attracts a lot of trouble wherever he goes. In the first season, he found out that Paige was on the run from her evil ex-husband after accidentally killing him. She asked Preacher to take care of her son, Christopher. What happened was that Wes's twin brother Vince appeared out of nowhere and kidnapped Christopher. Ever since then, he's been worried about the whereabouts of Paige and Christopher for the entire season. What's amazing, he finally let his guard down and began dating Julia, who's his Aikido instructor. Just when things were starting to take off between the lovebirds, Paige reappeared and discovered that Vince had her son. Preacher, being Preacher, got involved in the drama once again. In fact, he had to defend Paige when she decided to exchange her life for her son's release. He literally knocked Vince down in a violent confrontation. We aren't sure if Vince is still alive and if Preacher will get arrested for his role in the deaths of Wes and Vince. At the end of this whole ordeal, will he choose Paige or Julia? The safe bet here definitely seems to be Julia, but nothing on this show is guaranteed. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait till the next season to find out what happens to our favorite local chef. Up next, how far will Melissa go to save her drug business in the town? It's pretty understandable that Brady was rattled when a new boss, Melissa, arrived at the lumberyard. She told him that Calvin was no longer in charge of the business, and she actually proved it a few days later when the former boss was killed. As you can tell, she's definitely a terrifying woman. What's worse, she's already threatened Brady's loved ones in case he doesn't continue to help her out with the fentanyl business through the lumberyard. The makers made sure that her true identity remains a mystery till the end of the season. That's when she was introduced to Mel and Jack as Nick's sister, who'd coincidentally just started a business with Jack. This woman has already shown that she'll do anything to make her business succeed. Now that Mel and Jack are expecting a child, it only needs to be seen how far she can go to maintain her illegal drug empire. There's no doubt Jack is excited about his new business venture with Nick, and it also looks like Nick has no idea who his sister actually is. Coming up, why did Charmaine lie about the real father of her twins? She's been pregnant for the entirety of the 4 seasons, but she finally dropped a bombshell on Mel and Jack in the last few minutes of the season 4 finale. Not only is she convinced that her contemptible husband Todd is going to leave her, but she also thinks that it's karma for lying to Mel and Jack all this time. Is she being for real here? Mel and Jack's relationship was put at stake due to her pregnancy, as she was continuously holding it over Jack's head for months. And now, she's telling everyone that he's not the real father of her twins. Come on, Charmaine, you can do better than this. Did she really think that Jack would let her get away with this? We all know that he likes to hold on to things and doesn't easily give up on such matters. This resentment and pent-up anger towards Charmaine might end up putting his sobriety and recent progress in therapy to the test. Moving on, how much time does Doc's grandson Denny have left to live? Everyone in the town was skeptical when Doc first met his grandson Denny. Lizzie was instantly drawn to him, but he kept her at arm's length. There was always something shady about him from the very start, but he finally revealed the truth to Lizzie in the season 4 finale. He's suffering from Huntington's disease, which is a fatal condition. The reason why he kept Lizzie at a distance was that he didn't want her to become overly attracted to him. The big question here is, how much time does he have left? The life expectancy of Huntington's disease is somewhere between 10 and 30 years, but after spending all his money on paying his grandfather's mortgage and overdosing on Klonopin, we believe that he's in a lot of pain right now. It looks like we're bound for another tragic loss in the next season. It'll be even more tragic when Doc finds out that his only heir will die soon. Following that, what's next for Doc's practice? He hired another doctor, Cameron, to help him out at the practice, but Cameron ended up catching feelings for Mel, even though he knew he'd no chance. Well, Jack was going through a lot this season, so when Cameron found out that Mel and Jack were expecting a baby together, he decided to tell Mel that Jack wasn't the right guy for her. After she showed an extreme reaction to his comments, he decided to resign from the position. Later, Mel realized that he had no bad intentions and even apologized for her reaction. She informed him that she was going to marry Jack, but the damage had been done, and Jack still went on with his decision to resign. Mel realized that she'd have to end up on bed rest and then take maternity leave. Therefore, she also resigned with the hopes that Doc would keep Cameron. That means Doc is left alone at the practice again. What's more, he's close to retirement and Hope needs home care. So what's the future of his practice? After all, he's the only doctor in town, so they can't just shut it down. It's going to be interesting to watch if he'll persuade Cameron to return, or maybe we'll get a new doctor in town next season. Let's talk about, has Ricky really left the Virgin River? Our sweet young boy Ricky always wanted to be a Marine ever since he was a child. After the death of his parents, he was raised by his grandmother Liddy. Even after meeting and falling in love with Lizzie, he didn't give up on his dreams and stayed determined on his path to the military. Well, Lizzie instantly ended their relationship after she found out that he lied to her and went on to get enlisted anyway. After a quick goodbye party organized by Lizzie, Jack drove him to the bus stop and Ricky was gone. He's been an important part of Virgin River ever since the beginning. So was that the last time we saw him? Also, the fact that a bus wouldn't be the best way to get to San Diego from Eureka, because that's literally a 12-hour drive. You're telling us that there was literally no one in the town who could donate a flight ticket to this young man? Last but not the least, will Mel finally get rid of Mark's family? Every season, the family of Mel's ex-husband Mark continues to create some drama to stress her out. At first, it was the sister-in-law Stacy, who arrived in town to take the wedding ring back from Mel because it was their family heirloom. Then, she sent her a sonogram to rub it in her face that she was pregnant. So, when Stacy reappeared this season, Mel was justifiably skeptical of her intentions. Although she offered an olive branch to Mel, she didn't leave town without dropping another bombshell that her mother-in-law believes that her child is actually an embryo that she and Mark had saved. This makes Mel run a DNA test, and thankfully, Jack is the father. We just hope that the Wicked family will leave her alone this season. Now, a fan theory suggests that Hope might die in the 5th season. First off, Hope's character will be focused more in Season 5 of Virgin River. Finally, Hope is doing better than ever. Her health is improving after suffering a terrible accident, and she's got a lot to anticipate in the next season. She was mostly absent from our screens in the 3rd season. In the last season, most of her screen time was spent on recovering from the brain injury. Annette O'Toole, the actress who plays her character, has said that her character will get more involved in the upcoming season, particularly in her duties as the town's mayor. Now that she's almost recovered, you can expect her to run around and show up at events. But fans have completely different theories about the future of her character. Moving on, fan theory suggests that Hope might pass away in the next season. Yes, the fans are totally convinced that her time on the show is over. In fact, there have been many theories going around about why she would die. Everything started on Reddit when several fans posted about how she'll soon pass away while surrounded by her loved ones. What's more, they think Doc and Denny will start living together. One fan wrote that she's just starting to experience mental and physical deterioration due to the combination of aging and that horrible accident. Still, some viewers aren't convinced by any of this. They believe that she's already doing better and will continue to recover. Whatever happens, Virgin River can't be the same without its beloved mayor. Last but not the least, Jack and Hope might have a reunion in Season 5. Whether she survives by the end of Season 5 or not, fans have been hoping that they'll get to see Jack and Hope reunite. After all, they'd had a mother-son dynamic. But Jack distanced himself from her by the end of Season 1 after he read a private note that Charmaine had written. Now that she's recovering and Jack and Mel are having a baby, everyone's expecting that they'd somehow rekindle their relationship. That's a wrap for the video. Who's your favorite character on Virgin River? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more amazing and exciting videos like this. See you in the next one.